Ballpoint Splatling, medium weight Splatling class weapon, cannot spell DPS without BPS. This has really high damage per second. So first let's get into the paint. The short range mode does paint really well. Long range mode and not caring. This also has a long range mode, which it will go into like a few frames of fairing in short range mode. They are very different. Short range mode, this is like the range of this. Then the long range mode. Where is this? I'll show the wall paint too, but nothing there. And short range mode is your friend for better paint. Yeah, damage per shot is always 35, nothing unusual there. Damage. Well, the fire rate is different from here. That means short range mode, it's really high and you do the whole 700 damage per second. Which is pretty much one of the highest values in the game that you can get there. The long range mode, if you can get into that, it's 420 second. You ideally do wanna avoid that, or rather use it exactly when you need it. If you wanna learn Ballpoint, then you should learn Ballpoint because it's one of the best weapons ever, but also pretty technical. What you wanna practice first is staying in short range mode like I'm doing here. There's a little audio cue when it changes into long range mode, and that is the latest when you wanna recharge. You can recharge before that too, it's completely fine, doesn't matter. So yeah, it's completely fine if you overcharge and under fire, but not the other way around ideally. And if you go into that other mode, then you have to recharge enough to actually go back into the short range mode. Let's also talk about the damage per tank here actually. If you were to do the whole tank with only the short range mode, that is a whole 7000 damage per tank. That is also one of the highest values in the game. Only Hydra beats that for obvious reasons, although that is not quite practical, but you know. Splatbarella would be the other, if that's all of them. I mean, Nautilus possibly could, I do not know what the value actually is right now. Anyway, Nautilus definitely does not have the DPS of this, so whatever, right? This definitely deals the most damage to anything the most quickly. Okay, they will just melt lessers with a short range mode as well as your usual HP bosses that you can get close to. Like scrappers, eels, stuff. You can also snipe eels from far away to get good angles. And then the bosses where you actually do use the long range mode a bit more probably. That's first and foremost, the common pattern here is you shoot lessers in front of them and then you just let the charge run out at the steelhead itself with attacks. If you've done your job right, you will have enough range to just deal 300 range. So. But then of course stingers that you don't want to get too physically, you can hit with that nicely as well. It's always 2 shots per pod, so works out nicely, should be easy to get. You can also snipe lids from far away with the long range mode if you have to. Oh yeah, and fish sticks, of course, fish sticks, very important. And I've said this on many other weapons before, but just do this regular thing if you want to kill them even faster, but if you don't, another thing you can do, which I somehow messed up shown here. When you recharge here and do it for long enough, then you can stay in this mode as well. That period of time. And that also brings us straight to night waves. This, what I've just shown now, is pretty much exactly the thing that you wanna do on Mothership waves a lot. You can stand behind basket or in spiral with this and just hit a lot of it. And also when the mothership is latching onto the basket, then you can do some X with it as well, and then at the same time there's any need for it. If you wanna get big scores, then probably still better to just repel it fast, but range mode will be there. Okay. If you're just doing freelance and alone X or something, or just cannot quite get physically close, then just do the cheesing. But yeah, make sure that you are safe from lasers, because during that phase there will be more lasers on the map than phases. You're probably not gonna be the one who just deal with them. Well, that's good for this, and there might be comps where there is actually another weapon that can snipe well, and in that case, then yes, you are actually a really good candidate to make sure that lasers are never bothering anyone. Need to look at the comp there. That was quite a lot for Mothership actually. Let's talk about other waves speaking with other high DPS weapon. What I wanna do is like try to walk in front of the Goldie. And whenever it's gonna get past you, then like turn around, maybe have a good position where you can like hit it for some more. And it can also be situationally nice at opening random gashas, like say the Goldie has just been killed. You can do then is clean up some lasers, let your charge run out and hit a gasha with that. Be cool. Right, next up let's talk about Rush. Rush this is also really flexible. You can either filter with long range, filtering that is hitting jumps early, burn more Goldies faster. Something that you can do with this. Might be a little bit spotty at times, but could still be better than average long range shooter with a fire rate and hitting jumps. Well. And the other thing that you can do is just stay back and the high DPS mode and approaching Goldies to protect whoever is targeted if it's not yourself exactly. Pay attention to comp, pay attention to mates. Just based on that, you can do much. But then of course when you're out of ink, an X use special, something like that. Usual here. Finally, gorillas. Small fries are not great for you, try to avoid them. Focus damage on gorillas. Deal a lot to them, obviously. Yeah, the teammates, please do small fries. Ballpoint alone is not usually enough for it. Might have run into ink issues as well at some point. Going to do too much of that. And speaking of ink management, same with all the other Splatlings. Then out extended refilling cycles. There's ink recovery delay here. Extended firing cycles, refilling cycles. Oh yeah, right, another thing that I should say about the modes here. If you get into long range mode without meaning to, an easy way to get out of it is like this. Just swim. If this happens right in front of a cohort. Just tap the out pretty much and you're gonna be out of it. That is really cool. However, the other way around, it's not quite that easy to get into the long range mode. Like, you just have to charge enough and let that short mode run out. It doesn't go for long anyway, like just a split second anyway. Doing some nonsense here. This is of course nothing you wanna do in game, but just showing off the mechanics. Yeah, that should be all about the Ballpoint Splatling. Amazing weapon. It can be a little bit immobile though. Bracing speed, yes, you can even dance around lasers with that. Does need some time for the stuff, but yeah, that will be it.